I'm not here to fight. I think one book that's missing from this table, which is the reason why I am here sitting on this table or any table for that matter in front of the camera, is The Alchemist.
Lovely.
The shows that we did on television, they all had to have an arc. I don't think I'm Michael Jackson level famous. When I left television, it was stable. It was the most stable form of acting job
True.
anyone can do. Hi, my name is Riddhi Dogra. You're watching me on The Leisure Lens.
Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
Hi everyone, welcome to India Forum. This is Kunal Kothari. When you talk about leisure, it's about the hobbies. It's what keeps you at peace. What is it that you love the most? And reading. Reading is something that really is loved by so many people, but not so many people. And we have a fantastic person to start all this with, none other than Riddhi Dogra. Hi.
Hi, I'm so happy to be at The Leisure Lens.
Lovely. And just so I'll dive into it right away, okay? Of course, firstly, the most common question ever. जैसे उसमें common question, इसमें भी common question होते हैं कि what are you currently reading and what is it that constantly is currently on your mind?
I think I am in some sort of a search, I don't know, of God or something. So I'm reading actually a lot of Devdutt Pattanaik.
Lovely.
I'll be honest. This is the book that I am currently reading. Before this, I was reading Sita by Devdutt Pattanaik. So what he does is he does a very interesting thing, which is he's constantly giving you facts.
Okay.
He's not really trying to tell you any story or anything from a lens of, I know it all, I've done my research, believe me. No. He's just saying this is out there, this is also out there, this is also out there, this is also out there, because it's about, the history and, mythology and our culture and religion. So it's very broad. So I like that. And I like that, whilst I'm reading everything that he's putting out there, I'm also getting perspectives.
Lovely. And we also have quite a spread here, and
Yes,
with books.
we do.
And I'm the only other time that people get really allured by it if this was food. If this was a food spread, I would be very alluring. For a lot of people, but of course we're talking about books. Anything out of this, or any other book throughout your life, I'm sure you've read quite a lot of them, which has stayed with you, in ways that you just can't get over it, and you probably won't ever.
I think one book that's missing from this table, which is the reason why I am here sitting on this table or any table for that matter in front of the camera, is The Alchemist.
Lovely, of course.
It changed my life. I was an office kid doing, I wouldn't say a mundane job, it was a very exciting job in a television channel. Just come from Delhi, this Delhi kid trying to explore life, live, have her own salary and all of that. And I was on a work trip. I was going from city to city because we were doing some city tour. One morning I was somewhere, evening I was somewhere else, roaming around with standees and I don't know what all. And I remember I picked up The Alchemist at an airport and I read it, and it just, I don't know what it did to me. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking for what it did to me. It just changed the way I felt, thought, or did anything. And it was soon after that I became an actor.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Super, yeah. Because that's, pretty much a perfect segue into what I'm going to ask you next. Because, people keep talking about how movies are influential.
Yeah.
Of course they are. At the end of the day, one cannot deny that when you're going into the theater, you are transported to the world. That's also what a book does. We start, reading it and we visualize. Much more, yeah, right? Because it's so much more an intimate process. You're with that, right? So while The Alchemist worked you, shaped you in a way, is there a specific book or maybe, something from The Alchemist that stood out to you in a way? Because there are quotes, there are things that, they're ingrained in your life for the rest of your life. So is there anything like that?
I have read many books after that. There was another book called The Glass Castle. That's a fiction book. That book also sort of left a lot of impact. It's by Janet Wells. I remember because I really loved it. It was about this woman who I think has bohemian parents who give up on life and just live a very dreamy life. And I don't know why that book, sort of called out to me. I remember I was working in Zoom television and I was I didn't put down that book. I would like go to office without having slept because I'm reading that book at night. Then I think there was also Anne Frank's Diary of a Young Girl.
Right.
I read it very late. So I didn't grow up reading. Started reading very late. My brother was a reader. So I think very late, but I picked up the habit of reading, seeing him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that book also, Diary of a Young Girl, it still sort of resonates with me. And after that, there have been innumerable books. I think the most recent would be Autobiography of a Yogi. I take a lot of things from that book. And I took a long time to finish it also.
Oh, yeah.
It took like I followed that rule of read 5 pages a day.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, the kind of
I've tried reading that book 5 times. I've always gotten stuck around the same chapter, same page, where you lose interest and you're like, so the last time I read it, I actually did it with a friend of mine, Asha Negi, and both of us decided we will do 5 pages every day and we will tell each other. Only when one person finishes, we'll move on. We have to wait. So then there's that pressure also. But I don't think she finished.
Of course.
She didn't finish because she gave up. She was traveling or this and that. And I remember I was like, listen, I'm reading. She's like, yeah, you read, I'll catch up. And then
that never happens. Yeah. That never happens. We are just too much into it. Lovely. And also getting to the fact that after being an actor, I mean, I say after being an actor purely in the sense of, how people look at you, how people look at you in the inner circle as well as the outer circle. You've done consistently well over the past 4 years.
Thank you.
And it's just, like a snowball effect, I would say, in the best way, because you see one thing, oh my God, she's so good. What I want to get at is, has there been any book or has there been any learning that, you've inculcated in a way that shaped your acting process as well?
Oh, wow. My acting process. So I don't really, I'll be honest, I don't really go to books for acting.
No, of course, yeah.
Because there's cinema for that.
Yeah. Of course.
But I'll tell you what books do. Books are a great way to have empathy for a world that you don't exist in.
Right.
So that helps for an actor. That is very helpful. To put myself in anything, like you pick up anything like Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah.
What a book, So the moment I pick it up, I'm not judging.
Yeah.
That's it. So that is, I think, the most helpful quality, or I would say the thing that helps you the most as an actor, that you are able to go into worlds where you can very well have biases, you can have judgments, you can constantly be like, aise thodi hota hai, but you submit. That is the basic requirement of reading a book. That you submit. If you don't submit, you will not go past 1 page. So, and that's why, some people are readers, some aren't, and some people, it's like when a book calls out to you, they say that you can't put it down.
Yeah.
It's because of that, because you've submitted totally.
Correct.
And then nothing else makes sense to you, and you just want to be in that world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the last book I read, I mean, although it's a religious sort of, it's got the backdrop that is religious, but I read this book called Sita by Devdutt Patnaik.
Right.
My God, I couldn't put it down because it's not that I was identifying with Sita as a person, but I was identifying with her because of the way, it was so beautifully narrated and the way the book is written. And it allowed me, and very recently I went for scuba diving, and there's a whole chapter in that book about the Ram Setu and
right, of course.
the underwater world.
Yeah.
And I remember going into my scuba diving, and actually the cameraman who's capturing is like, Aap at some point you're doing this. And I'm like, oh no,
oh my God,
don't catch it.
Yeah.
It's not for anybody else. But I did feel that, because I think I was so immersed while reading it, how, there's a life underwater and they help, these people and whatever,
of course.
I don't want to get into that and say something which may be taken wrong, but it impacted me. I had a newfound respect for life underwater. So yeah, books have a very, very unique way, and I think it's the cheapest therapy.
Yeah.
It's
True.
the cheapest therapy.
Yeah, because therapists cost a lot these days.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, that is true. And lovely.
Also, it's the cheapest friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, the one that will never betray you.
Yeah, the one that will never, ever, ever betray you.
Absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly. And getting back again to, and now we'll talk a little bit about Kul, because the show is so fantastic in its setting, but it's not trying to ape something. What I
Yeah.
really specifically liked about the show, as I've not seen the entirety of it, but I've
Yeah.
seen a bit of it. So I like the fact that it's not trying to ape something. You have these
Yeah.
obviously flawed characters. It's a constant now, but there is a purpose of everything. Yeah, there is. What I want to know is that if you could draw a parallel, if you could draw a parallel of Kavya into the fictional world of books,
Oh.
who would you, sort of, whatever you've read, you probably, okay, this is probably the closest that can come to Kavya.
Let me think. Kavya is not some. Maybe one of the Rajkumaris, but I've not actually read a book of a badly behaved Rajkumari.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could be, like I've read books on Maharani Gayatri Devi. I've read The Last Queen.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of books on the queens and princesses. So maybe somewhere there she would be 100%.
Yeah.
She comes from that legacy.
Yeah, and I love the fact, what I was thinking parallelly, people keep talking about books mein se ideas nikal ke movies bante. There you go. There's a show out there. Make a book out of it now.
Yeah, man.
Come on, a flawed character with all these things going up and down. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, talking about Kul further, what, as I mentioned, the world is fantastic. I mean, it's royal, but there's there is constantly something going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's why comes the bingeable quality to it. Right? What is it to you that when you have now a resume where you've done flawed characters, you've done heavy characters, you've done intense, a little bit of, I wouldn't say comedy per se, but yeah, a bit of that
I want
as
to
well.
do comedy very badly.
Even more so, yeah. But now, when you look at characters, do you look at the overarching theme as well? Because with Kavya, even though how she is placed in this world, there is a greater purpose to it. There is not just about being flawed and being about inheritance and everything.
Yeah.
So do you look at it as a whole, or do you still look at it, okay, this is what I bring to the table and this is what the character brings to the table?
I mean, I think it's my training from television. We are used to, television, the shows that we did on television, they all had to have an arc. They all had to have a beginning, middle and end. So that's how I look at my characters. Even if it's not like that on paper, I have to have an arc in my head. I have to know where she's going and what's the point of what she's doing. So that is very, very important. It's a given.
Yep.
Even for a small character like Nusrat, it was a very small character on paper, but I gave her an arc. That arc actually went into the writing of season 2.
Right.
They used it. They used what I brought into the character for my own acting purpose, but they used it. It was helpful. So I feel like it's important for me to know the head and tail of my characters, even if that's not something that is a part of the story. Yeah.
Fantastic. And because I'll go back to the book as well, because you mentioned you're reading Devdutt Patnaik's Ganesh 99.
Yes.
So whatever you've read so far, have you completed the book already?
No, I haven't. Because this book is short chapters.
Okay.
It's like 1 page. So I was traveling. So I didn't want to finish the book.
Yeah.
So I stopped in between.
No, we do that. That as well.
I was like, oh God, this is just one page.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to finish it very fast.
Finish it right away.
Because every night after pack up, I was reading and I was like, I was like,
oh my God. Yeah, exactly. True. So far, whatever all that you've read.
There's a lot of stuff that I can talk about. Where do I begin?
What is it? But what is it about these short stories or
So there's another book that I really, really love, which is actually, I mean, this is, this is also lovely, but this gives you a little idea of the various stories that we've heard about Ganesha.
Okay.
Why is his head?
Why did he get the trunk? Yeah. All those things.
Who is his wife? All of that. So there are answers to that. They have picked up. I think he's compiled research from across and he's put it together. That this is what we know of this particular phenomena. And I love that. I mean, not that you should of course go and do your research, but I love that. What I love most about short stories, there's another book which I actually gift a lot. It's called Like a Flowing River by Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
I gift that book a lot. It's my favorite Christmas gift or New Year's gift. I do love to give that gift because because that book is again short stories. It's a compilation of maybe the articles, the snippets that Paulo Coelho has written in different publications, or
fantastic.
maybe he's written for some book or some newspaper or something. So, and they're all full of wisdom and so much insight, and they give you so much perspective. I wish I could quote a story, but I have so many in my head,
right?
Which they help you. They help you randomly when you're going through life and just dealing in situations. So that book is very, very. I mean, it's very dear to me, and I love. It's a book worth giving people.
Fabulous. And now digressing a little bit, you as a person, amongst the few actors that I know, or I would say celebrities overall, as the entire gamut of it, are those who are not only opinionated but also put an opinion out there. And that's sometimes more. See, it's easy to be talking about just having a feminist take to things, or just saying for the sake of it because you want to be cool and stuff. No, but that's not the case. What I want to ask you is, as an actor who is under constant scrutiny, okay, you guys are always under scrutiny for always the right and wrong reasons, mostly for the wrong ones.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Damned if you don't, exactly. But after all this, do you believe that not just reading, but the kind of habits, the kind of upbringing that you've had shaped so much that, despite having those so-called perils of, being opinionated and putting yourself out there, still you do that? Do you think it shapes that?
I think, no, I'll be honest. I think firstly, it's not, you need a thick skin to do this. And secondly, I don't think I'm Michael Jackson level famous, so I can get away with it, honestly. Because people who have higher stakes will not, even if they have the best opinion, that is the most amazing thing to be told to the world, they will not say it. Many legends living around us, they don't really go out there and talk about what they want to. Maybe they'll tell you in person, but they won't put it out there for public consumption because, like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I feel like, okay, I'm not there. So I am where I am, and I do see myself as a humble little civilian of this country who, just like the person in front of me, also has a right to have an opinion. And but I'll tell you, I am mindful because I know things can escalate, so I can give my opinion, but it'll definitely be taken badly, wrongly, 100% by, there'll always be people who will say great things, and there'll always be lots of people who will say a lot of mean things. So I just detach. I don't really, I'm not here to fight. That's what I always say, whenever I tweet and people argue with me, I'm like, I am on your side. Why are you fighting? Why are you fighting with me? Just because I gave an, it's like एक घर की लड़ाई हो जाती है, कि आप घर में अगर आपने बोला मुझे राजमा पसंद है, मैंने बोला छोले पसंद है, तो राजमा में क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
No, of course.
And then I'm like, oh, there's no problem. I just feel like eating chole. And you will be like, no, but rajma is so special. It comes, so you just feel like, what is this? Why are we fighting?
Absolutely.
Most times, the people who are like yelling at me or saying very mean things, वो mostly वही बोल रहे होते जो मैं बोल रही होती हूँ.
But they just don't have the brains to probably fathom that.
I find it cute. I'll tell you why. And this cute is a different kind of thing.
Yeah, of course,
I find it very endearing that when we lose it, we just lose our brain. Like we're not able to think.
Basic sense,
Just 1 second, hold on, back off, just see what is going on here. So I think that's what it is. So you can't take it badly. Like even the last time or Animal or whatever, whenever I've spoken, I've always told people, why are you fighting with me? I am with you guys. Like Animal, the whole point of my saying what I said was lost. Because I was trying to, which is actually something जो आज तक मैं बोल ही नहीं पाई हूँ, and it's not important. Maybe it's not important that I say it. But I was trying to make a very valid point that it's great that somebody made a film like this where you can see how somebody can be so screwed up if they are not loved as children, especially if they are boys. Because mental health in men and boys is not addressed. That's the point I was trying to make.
But no,
But oh
there were
my
keywords
god,
there that were
yes.
of course.
So I was like, oh my god.
Oh,
And
boy.
then again, whenever I've spoken, I don't know why people get so angry. I'm like, इतना गुस्सा क्यों है सब में?
सबकी frustration is
And I'm
just one of
feeling
those
like
things.
I don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't. So I just look at them with a lot of amusement.
Hmm.
इतना गुस्सा, इतना मतलब 2 सेकंड में इतना गुस्सा कर रहे हैं यार. Okay.
नहीं उनको
पता है.
सबकी इतनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन है जाके एक कमेंट कर दिया और दे फील दैट
Very-
हमने आज our day is made we vented out
I find
to
it.
a person who's probably never gonna see it but okay I've
Oh,
done
yeah,
that.
like, I have to talk back. I am like, listen, क्या हुआ? You tell me. Let's discuss this.
Let's do therapy.
And then they disappear. And then, you know, like there are times when people say really mean things on my Instagram and I reply back that, you know, I wish you well and I hope
Yeah,
your
yeah.
brain becomes
Of course,
okay.
yeah.
And then they are like, liking that.
Of course. Because that's what they wanted in the first place. They
So
wanted
just say
that.
something nice. I mean, you know, people don't understand how much energy matters.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you give out, it matters. And I'm not here to lecture on any of that, but like people need to understand that energies matter. You should give out good energy if you want good energy in your life. Why you bring something like I strongly feel I have a yardstick for talking.
Right.
There are few like there's actually a meme. I'll actually show it to the camera.
Yeah,
But
I should.
you-
I think so.
You see it. This is
Oh,
what I follow.
lovely. Okay, I don't know how much can it catch, or you know how much can we be out of
So
focus and still
before
catch.
you speak,
Yeah,
you should think whether it is true,
true,
whether it's
helpful.
helpful. What is
Yeah, yeah.
I? The
I is inspiring.
yeah, inspiring,
and
needed,
is, yeah,
necessary, and kind.
Kind. Oh
That's
my
it.
god.
Like that's all. So I give my opinions with this in mind.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm never giving my opinion and then feeling like, oh shit, why did I say it? I always know what I'm saying.
Because that image is perfect. It's the yardstick as you mentioned for
Yeah.
people to follow. Oh my
People
god.
should follow this. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything, yeah? Why are you spoiling your energy field?
No, people just have to say things, I guess.
I feel bad. I feel really bad for them.
Fantastic. You know, couple of questions more just in this context. And this I'm talking about more on the acting front, okay? Because you've obviously auditioned a lot, right? Over the years. Different projects, different ways, I'm sure. But, you know, obviously there's this transition now. You know, you audition, you really want a character and you audition for it. You get it, you don't get it, fine. But obviously there's a transition now where you have offers on the table as well. Some offers probably
Yeah.
come to you, right?
Yeah.
And so these are just two parallels. There's auditions where you want to keep fighting for something and you might or might not get it. Then there are offers on the table which might or might not appeal to you. It's such a lovely balance, I would say, for an actor, right? But do you have that sense of lost in clarity kind of a moment where you feel that okay, I'm fighting for it, and maybe if it happens, I want to manifest it, but at the same time, this is not so good, but I still want to do it because I have to run the house as well.
Wow. I think that dilemma is always there for anybody. Actually, anyone who's earning a bread and butter, there's always that dilemma in any field, any job, anything, right?
Yeah.
कि जो passion है वो करें या where we are getting bread and butter वो करें. But I think I've taken so many risks. When I left television, it was stable. It was the most stable form of acting job
True.
anyone can do.
True.
Because you get a salary at the end of the month and you're working from day to night, and every day is or at least 25 days in
Yeah,
a month
yeah.
you're like working. So I left that very cushioned, and it was very comfortable. It
Of
pays
course,
you very
yeah,
well.
it is very well.
I left that because I think I was somewhere okay with like even today, I say that I would love to do my stream of income is not my craft. It is. I would like to be paid according to my value.
Yeah.
But I'm not I'm not greedy for money. I'm greedy for good parts.
Right.
And of course, I want to be part of great stuff so I can make money elsewhere, which is, we have a lot of other ways, which is Instagram or your
Right.
advertisements or your reels or whatever, events, appearances, just, or I can get into business of my own with my name. So those are the places where I would like to make money. Or investments, sound investments. But I don't want to compromise. I never have actually.
Right.
I've never compromised on my acting jobs.
Mhm.
I've never done anything which I've been little less excited about.
Yep.
I've always worked, and I think I've been. I'm fortunate, and I feel very grateful that I've been able to find that balance where I have only done work which satiates me as an actor and an
Lovely.
artist. There have been times money has been less and all of that, but I don't care. I'll earn that, you
Mhm.
know, and. Yeah, what I want is experiences. I want to get up in the morning and I want to be excited to go and work on a set. I don't want to just work to work.
Fantastic, fabulous.
If I had to do that, I would have continued my office job.
That's true, yeah.
You know, and that was so secure. And I think by now I would have been the CEO.
No, yeah. I mean, we are all doing office jobs right now, but okay. I get it. Thank you so much, Riddhi.
You're welcome.
You know, I mean, I quoted in a way that, you know, there's nothing like the smell of a new book. There's nothing
I
like
agree.
you know, the best having a great conversation with an
I
actor.
agree. I really enjoyed this conversation. Maybe we should start a book club.
We should have all the
And we
nerds
should
assembled.
we should talk about books because everyone's going to Kindle and everything. It's
Yeah,
just so
it's kind of-
unromantic.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
be
nothing-
like that.
There's nothing like
Books
a
are
book.
read best between pages.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much, Riddhi.
You're welcome.
I cannot wait to see what you have in store next. I'm sure a lot of things, and everybody is going to be excited. And all the best for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.